Hello everyone, it's Brody.
And Brennan.
Welcome back to the Castile Deca Download. Today, episode 3, we are joined by a couple of guest speakers.
Steve Thomas from Grand Canyon University.
Celine Capelle from Grand Canyon University.
All right, well, to start off, what has your career been, your journey to your current position? What has that been like for you?
Well, my time at GCU has been 12 years. Had someone told me 12 years ago I was going to be in higher education, I would not have believed it. I worked in the business world for many years. Spent almost 18 years with the Walt Disney Company prior to coming to Grand Canyon University. And honestly, what really actually got me to GCU was my oldest daughter. She was a senior in high school back in 2012. And as most parents, we started doing the whole college search. We kind of allowed college to creep up on us back then. And I wanted originally my daughter to stay local in Southern California, but I really was looking at more of a private school setting. My girls were raised in a little Christian school, K through 12. And so we really started looking at faith-based schools in Southern California, and they were very, very expensive. And it was a buddy of mine, he was an Army chaplain, and his niece was coming to Grand Canyon University back when we were a D2 school. And so we started looking at GCU, fell in love with it. I really appreciated the way they ran it as a business. I mean, let's face it, all colleges are businesses. But GCU ran it a lot differently. And so we really kind of keyed on that. Lauren fell in love with it. She made her commitment to go to GCU. And about 8 years later, the university brought me on board. And I've been there ever since. That was 2013.
What does a typical day look like for you?
So the university started back in 2017. They were looking for individuals who would become more of the programmatic experts within the colleges at GCU. She's in a position as a university admissions counselor where she has to know a little about a lot of different things overall at the university. For me, it was more of a specialized business college. So I work directly with our dean, John Cadis. I work with Dr. Ed Slover, our assistant dean. I work with all the faculty. But when she's working with families, when it comes to that point where those families need additional insights into the business college, she gets them involved with my team. So I have 15 student interns that work for me. So we really become they call them SMEs, which are experts in those areas. And really, we provide the deeper insight about the different business programs and opportunities for involvement, internships, all of that kind of stuff. We help, we work beside them, but really help in those students making a decision. Our goal is to give students the ability and the best information possible to make a solid educated decision of where they want to go to college. If it's us, great. If it's not, that's okay too.
All right, so are there any challenges that you face on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, we do a lot of different things in my role. We're heavy in project management. So not only does my team handle appointments with students and families, we also conduct the tours of campus. We do academic tours where it's focused, it's the general tour, but it's focused on getting to know the business programs. Discover is another area which we hope your students actually come out on, where they get to stay overnight on campus. They get a deeper insight into the business college and the programs and the opportunities. And we talk about areas of involvement through our business clubs. So really, I think the big thing is promoting the involvement side. And no matter where students go to college, they need to be involved. If they're not involved, they're wasting their time.
You said you've been with him for quite a while and in the business world for quite a while, but what skills do you say kind of helped you get to your current position, and what skills have you developed along the way?
Well, and honestly, I think the big set, it keyed in on education. I ended up through my 18 years with the Walt Disney Company, my first 9 years with them, I had not completed my undergrad program. And one of my friends, he was a former Disney executive, really encouraged me to go back and finish school. And I hadn't really given it much thought. I was probably maybe 60% through college at the time. And I decided after 10 years, I left the Disney company and went back to San Diego and finished my undergrad. And within a couple of months, I got a phone call. It was from Disney again, and they wanted me to come back because I had already graduated, and they wanted me to be a district manager for motion pictures in Southern California. So I did that for another 9 and ended up coming to Grand Canyon. But I would not have been able to come to Grand Canyon had I not had my undergrad education taken care of. But, I deal with, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of students and their families every single year from not only, really all over the United States. But when I started with GCU, I was an admissions counselor, like she was, and I did that for 4 years and really enjoyed it, but I really wanted to be at the university. And because of my business background, it just made sense for me to go into the Colangelo College of Business there, and I've been there ever since.
Now, you've been going on and on about one of the best ways to get out there is to be involved, but
Correct.
How can high school students specifically, for those who are either freshmen or not, maybe on the bridge of considering DECA, how can we get involved with GCU and these opportunities?
Well, first of all, I love the fact that you guys are involved in DECA. I'm actually friends with Julie Ellis, who's part of the CTE group that is involved in DECA. And then, of course, Lacey, who's the state advisor. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Lacey was a GCU grad back in the day. So we do some things with her. And, of course, anything that's CTE, we work with as well. But we are now venturing out within the Phoenix Valley. Connor Vickery is one of our grad assistants at GCU. He was our College of Business valedictorian a couple of years ago, owns his own business at Canyon Ventures. He and Robert Vera over at Canyon Ventures are part of the visionaries in the Valley area where they work with local high schools and helping them build up their entrepreneurial programs. Yes, they can come to GCU. They can get mentorship within our Canyon Ventures and our business college. But we're now also venturing out and we're partnering with these other schools in their own backyard to help them. And some of our kids are going out to these schools and doing mentorship days and helping them start their businesses there as well. There's a ton of opportunity here in the Valley. If students are willing to kind of take a good look at GCU, there's definitely a wow factor, especially if you guys come out and you see the Canyon Ventures area. That's a showstopper for sure.
Alrighty. And kind of to start wrapping it up, I know we've gone through a bunch of different categories as to how students can get involved, what they should start looking out for, and what skills they should start developing or maybe even start working on.
Sure.
But kind of in your own personal experience, throughout what we've been talking about, the skills you've developed, the people and the connections you've made, even the risks that you've taken, what has been one of the most significant to you? Like, what has been the most important to affecting how you are now?
I'm going to say it's number one is my faith.
Okay.
That for me really came down in my second stint working with Disney. It's for me, I've learned leadership because I think there's a difference between a manager and a leader. Mm-hmm. You can have people that have really good set of both skill sets, but a leader is someone who puts their own movement forward behind. A leader wants to build up the people around them to go off and do great things. And I think the big thing I always tell students, and even my own interns, is if you learn anything from me, I want you to be a leader. I want you involved in things. Put the needs of others before your own. Make a difference in their lives. And I think even my time at Grand Canyon, I've always treated what I do as a ministry. And it's not about me. It's about how can I get these other students to go off and build themselves up in skill sets, public speaking, presentations, being able to speak about our programs, being able to sit in front of a family and provide great information. And when that family comes back to me and says, "Oh my gosh, Steve, your intern was amazing," that's the win right there. I think for the big advice again, in wrapping this all up, is make sure you get involved in things, and mentor others. there's a great thing that I've learned over the years is when people give you an opportunity, pass it forward. I learned that at Disney when I got hired. Someone said to me, because it was very hard to get in at the time back in the 90s, and I got that opportunity. And the advice that was given to me was, hey, you got in, learn, grow, but when someone else comes to you and wants that opportunity, make sure you give it to them. You know, and treat them as a leader and build them up to success. And that's ultimately what we do at GCU.
All righty. Well, that's all we had for you. So thank you for making your way out here. Thank
I'm
you
honored.
for joining us on the
This has been
podcast. It's a bit of a startup, but we love having you.
It's great to be here. We just want to see you guys come out and check us out.
Yeah, of course. We'll be there.
All right, guys, thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, it's
Thank
been an
you.
honor. All right.